If you really hate war and you hate people getting killed and injured in bombing raids and debris falling, then keep taking silver and copper out of available supply. This is something we can do. In recent history, like the Vietnam War and the Gulf War 1 and 2, and you had all these marches, protests, stop the war, doesn't do any good. The Rothschilds are famous for saying, let them march all they want as long as they pay their taxes. What can do some good is the big protest to stop paying these people. All the people involved with the Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy fact, all the people, the bankers, the so-called elites. I don't like to call them elites. I like to call them the powers that were. If you want to do something effective, the silver bullet and the silver shield. Take silver and copper out of available supply. It's a silver bullet, a non-violent protest against all the people involved with the Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy fact. It's not conspiracy theory, it's a conspiracy fact. And it's a silver shield to protect yourself. It's a silver and copper shield. Keep taking silver and copper out of available supply on two levels. On the one level, the shorts, which are all the people like JP Morgan were the banker involved in the big pedophile ring that we saw in the Jeffrey Epstein files. You will smash the shorts. If you keep taking silver and copper out of available supply, they're going to collapse. You're going to collapse the shorts. But more than that is the amount of silver and copper needed in all these missiles and anti-air defense systems, surface-to-air defense systems. They are burning through so much silver and copper now. We're talking about thousands of missiles every day. When I say missiles, I'm just talking about flying objects. That's all I'm talking about. So it could be what you might class as missiles, drones, manned or unmanned aircraft. We've seen the last few days, the confusion involved with manned aircraft of flying, like the Americans' manned aircraft and the anti-missile defense, coping with all these drones and missiles coming over. They were just shooting it and they shot down friendly fire, a couple of manned aircraft. So when I say missiles, I mean the Bible talks about missiles, burning missiles. It's talking about arrows shot with a bow and arrow to defend the burning missiles coming over. It just means a flying object. The amount of missiles, flying objects, every day. Some are designed to strike, some are designed to defend, the anti-missile defense. When one of these flying objects, a drone or missile, doesn't matter which one, is coming over, either side, you've got Iran and their allies, you've got Israel and their allies, either side, one missile comes over, heading for its target, they might fire several tens of missiles to intercept it. This is burning up so much silver and copper, and they are running out. We're talking about thousands of flying objects every day. Now, some of these smart missiles, you can look this up because some people don't believe me. You can look this up. Some of these smart missiles use 500 ounces, 500 troy ounces of silver in each one. Without that, they go back to like the technology of the Second World War. In the Second World War, they just shot a missile in a general direction and it would just run out of fuel or land somewhere indiscriminately, and they just shoot them blindly. But with the smart technology now, they're absolutely laser guided, pinpoint accuracy. But that's what the technology comes in. That's why they need so much silver and copper. 500 troy ounces of silver in these smart, for the shielding, for the silver's the best electrical conductor, the best thermal conductor, the best reflector of light, for laser technology, the best frequency. It's all these amazing properties. These technologies are using up so much silver, the radars, it's basically data centers or computer technology in all the missile guidance systems. Copper is enormous amounts of copper used in the cabling. All of these technologies use so much silver and copper. If you hate war and you hate people, women and children getting bombed and in debris, they might still be alive for a long time in the fallen buildings. It's an absolutely horrific thought. If you hate that, Keep taking silver and copper out of available supply. They're burning through the last of the silver and copper. We're talking thousands of missiles every day. And they're going to have to, there's desperate to replenish their stockpiles. Desperate now. There's all around the world, both sides. You've got Iran and their allies. So Russia, China, North Korea and all their allies. The other Muslim nations who hate Israel. They're all frantically wanting to go and buy silver and copper, take it out of supply to make new missiles and missile defense systems. And then you've got the America, Britain, Israel and their allies also wanting to buy a load of silver and copper to replenish their stockpiles, which are depleting rapidly. I mean, so much has been used up with the Russia-Ukraine war for the last few years. All these stockpiles of missiles and missile guidance systems and anti-missile defense systems have all been used up. Now, in the Asian region, they're getting ready for war. They had all these missile defense systems and missiles stockpiled for defending Taiwan from China. So both sides are all stocking up. Well, all of those was getting sent to Ukraine and Russia, and now they're going to be sent to the Middle East because they're burning through months worth of supply. They're burning through in days. Iran is sending thousands of missiles and drones every day, and for each one of those thousands, it might be several or tens of anti-air defense missiles are using up silver and copper. So the factories are going to be going into overtime to replenish those stockpiles now. If you hate war, if you hate people, especially women and children getting bombed, if you hate that, then keep taking silver and copper out of available supply. Listen to what Scott Ritter says here.
Provinces in the UAE and Qatar, you mentioned they're running out. We saw a report from Bloomberg stating that in Qatar, maybe they've got 4 days if the current pace continues, and the UAE about a week. Who knows if those numbers are correct? I would have no idea, but Bloomberg wrote it. How easy is it for the U.S. to deploy more of these air defense assets? To me, if I was a U.S. troop, I'd be concerned because it seemed like we had the buildup of all these, different systems for months on end to all these bases, and then you're telling me they just start running out like that? It seems crazy.
Well, first of all, the system out aren't American systems. They're systems purchased by Qatar, purchased by the UAE. So they're indigenous to them. They're American systems, but they've been purchased. And when they purchase the launcher, they purchase X amount of interceptors. Nobody ever envisioned this kind of complete. When you purchase interceptors, when they were purchased, they were thinking Gulf War. During the entire time of the Gulf War, Iraq fired 49 Scud missiles into Israel, 49 during the entire time. And that caused panic in Israel. Here we have the Iranians firing 1,000 missiles a day. In addition to that, drones by the hundreds. And so you spend $2 billion buying interceptor missiles thinking you're going to fight a war where the enemy is going to come at you with a handful of missiles every day. Instead, you find yourself swamped and you just are blowing through your missiles. And, I don't know what mode the Qataris or the Emirati military is on, but, they were trained on full automatic mode, which means they're cycling through their interceptors at an unbelievable rate. They could be expending 6 or 8 per missile coming in. They have to put it on manual mode, but that slows things down and you're not as accurate. But the bottom line is these guys are just blowing through munitions that were supposed to last them for months of sustained combat, and they're blowing through it in days. And there's nothing to replace them because, the United States has been flowing missiles into Ukraine. We've been telling the Europeans to deplete their stockpiles and we will replace them. But in the process, we have to replace ours that have replaced theirs, and we have a negative deficit. So whatever missiles are being built right now are being built for the United States, and we're already in the hole. And we've deployed forward, THAAD and some Patriots and all this. And they're deployed there, but they have a finite amount of interceptors, and there aren't any out there left except in the Pacific. And this is where it gets interesting because Donald Trump, if you notice, he said initially, we're going to be fighting for a matter of days. Now he said, it's probably a couple weeks. And don't worry, we have ammunition. We have ammunition. Our ammunition is all over the world. And I can guarantee you that the commander of Pacific Force was going, time out, Mr. President. Over here, look at me. You remember when you told me to prepare for a potential conflict with China over Taiwan? And I told you I need X, Y, and Z to do this. And we started stockpiling. We're not there yet, Mr. President. We're at 70% of what we need. And now you're saying that you're going to take that away to do this insanity in the Middle East. No, Mr.
What many people are starting to talk about is the amount of silver and copper getting used up, getting consumed, getting depleted in war. Civilians and defense combined systems may have hundreds of kilograms of silver and copper per missile launch system, including launches, electronics, wiring harnesses, etc. A defense electronic manufacturer notes copper and silver alloys are used extremely across radar, missile guidance, communications, and shielding hardware in large defense programs, fighter aircraft, ground-based radars, ship aircraft. Basically, data centers. That's what we're talking about. Data centers and all the hardware, the wiring, the missile launch systems, the radar. So much advanced technology in the computer systems to run it all, to make it all, and used up in the... these places are getting bombed. That's what's being targeted. Missiles and interceptors tend to have tens to hundreds of kilograms of copper, and it's hundreds of kilograms of copper and hundreds of ounces of silver in the electrical load and structural subsystems, compared with grams to occasionally kilograms of silver. Large radar defense infrastructure may require tons of copper, like metric tons, with silver limited to specific electronic contacts, higher electrical connections. Each of these smart bombs is said to about 500 ounces, 500 troy ounces of silver. Who knows how much copper? We don't know, but there's a brilliant website called silverwars.com where we're looking into this. Now, all these systems and missiles are running out. It's the launch systems and interceptor the ones who are being designed for attacking and the ones for defending are all getting bombed and need to be replaced. Power cables, wiring harnesses, radar systems, motors, actuators, communication systems, drones, vehicles, especially electric hybrid military vehicles, ammunition, brass, copper, zinc, silver. These are all getting used up, massively used up. They're going to need to be replaced. Right now, there's factories around the world going into overdrive to make new systems and new missiles and new drones to replace what has been blown up. This is what's being attacked both sides. Iran and their allies are getting all their systems blown up, mobile launchers and things, and interceptor systems. And then Israel and their allies are all getting their missile and air defense systems blown up. Systems like the Patriot missile system or THAAD require heavy radar arrays, power distribution systems, launch electronics, generator systems, command vehicles. The missile itself may contain tens of kilograms of copper and hundreds of ounces of silver, but the entire battery system can contain many tons of copper when you include radar units, transport vehicles, cabling. What I keep saying is, if you hate war, and if you hate women and children being killed in war, then keep taking silver and copper out of available supply. Do not buy ETFs or paper digital illusions of silver and copper. You have to keep taking silver and copper out of available supply. We want to drain the available stockpiles. Right now, all around the world, there's lots of effort going into production of new systems, data center systems, basically, for launching missiles to attack and missiles to defend, take out other missiles, surface-to-air defense. They are going to use up so much silver and copper.